right. What's going on, people? Welcome to the LV Live show. I am LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Once again, I want to thank all the new subscribers for coming by to my channel, man. It is truly appreciated. Big win for them boys, 108-85 down in MSG South. MSG South 2.0. We got a whole bunch of Souths. Big time win by them boys. 26 big points from the captain, 9 assists. But Josh Hart led the way. 23 big points, 13 rebounds. Great game altogether from the captain. Great game from Mikal Bridges. But this was all spearheaded by Josh Hart, right? His ruggedness, that's what I'm going to call it, is what helped the Knicks pull out a great victory today. Big Taz, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live tonight. Big win for them boys in MSG South, Orlando, 108-85. Josh Hart, 23 points, 13 rebounds. Josh Hart's ruggedness, right, is what gave New York that muscle to pull out the victory today. Just a very grimy win, but a tale of two halves. Tale of two halves. Gravity, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rock with LV Live tonight. Big win for them boys by 23 points, 108-85. The captain, Jalen Brunson, 26 big points. Tale of two halves, right? First half was kind of mucky, right? It was a lot of fouls. It was just a lot of griminess that the Magic were doing because offensively they can't keep up with us, right? But the halftime, the game was pretty much tied. 54-54. I thought in the second half, the Knicks clamped down defensively. Starting with that third quarter, of course, they only gave up 14 points. They only scored 22, but they only gave up 14 points. And then that fourth quarter, they blew the doors off. They won that fourth quarter 32-17. They had the Orlando Magic on lockdown. I thought the change in the game, honestly, when things kind of switched, is when Cat came out the game, right? She struggled tonight. He had 16 points, I believe, but he struggled tonight, right? He just didn't have it. Precious Achua's tenacity, I'll use that. Defensive flexibility, the way he can jump in and out, match up with anybody. That big block shot he had at the end of the third quarter on Wendell Carter set the tone. I thought that third quarter set the tone for everything else. Knicks 100 GM, man. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rock with LV Live tonight. Big win for the boys, 108-85. Josh Hart, 23 big points. So that's kind of like, to me, what changed the game. Bringing Precious Achiuwa in and kind of like being able to steady the ship, right? That's why he's so valuable to this team. Because Cat just didn't have it tonight. You know, I'm going to touch on him once again with this foul stuff, right? But he didn't have it tonight. He just didn't. And being able to bring in a guy like Precious, who's versatile defensively, he can guard all 5 positions, is great because now you don't really lose much. You lose some stuff offensively, but defensively, you kind of get better because he's able to rotate a lot better than Cat is. Disc Rover, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rock with LV Live tonight. Big win for the boys, 108-85. The captain, Jalen Brunson, 26 points, 9 assists. So I thought that's basically what it was when Precious came in. We pretty much locked them boys down, man. Locked them down. Right? You know, Suggs started coming out. He started kind of hitting a lot of shots. He played well tonight. I believe he had over 20, but he struggles with fouls, right? He plays this game sometimes like he still is playing football, right? So he struggles with that. But this is what you do against a team like this, man. They're limited offensively. They are. And I thought that the Knicks kind of tried to kind of finesse this game. You can't finesse this game with this team. You can't. They are a rough and rugged team, and they're going to make the game mucky, man. They are. So you need a guy like Josh Hart that's okay with playing like that. He's okay with the rugged play. He's okay with getting down there, throwing elbows, people grabbing, scratching, pushing. He's okay with all that. There was one play where he got a bounce pass, and I forget. I think it was Black that grabbed him by the arm and slammed him to the ground or something like that. When he was layup, he was the first guy up. All them other dudes laying on the ground. He's the first guy up because he's about that action, right? He's about that. Rondo, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live tonight. Big win for them boys, 108-85. Josh Hart, 23 points, 13 rebounds. So I thought he was great. I thought he was fabulous, man. He is truly the heart and soul of this team. And I thought that he came ready to go tonight, came ready to play, and really was able to match that intensity that Orlando was given. And through that kind of spilled over into everybody else. It spilled over into Bridges. It spilled over into Precious Achua. And everything pretty much flowed. In that second half, we were able to blow their doors off. But that was all spearheaded by Josh Hart. All right, let's go to the highlights, guys. Great game altogether, man, by this team. And once again, man, this is a game that which, I feel that in a lot of ways, you're going to have to learn how to win, man. It's not always going to be pretty all the time. It's just not. You're going to have times to where it kind of gets mucky. It kind of gets a little nasty in there. You're going to have that, man. You're going to have ugly wins. And I thought today was an ugly win, but to me, I thought it was a beautiful win because I love the fact that it's showing the different ways that we can win games. It's showing that. And you're going to need to do that when the playoffs come in. The refs aren't going to call no calls in the playoffs. We already know. We saw it last year. So you already know kind of like what's to be expected for that playoff push, especially when you get against a team like Boston. Of course, when you face against a team like Cleveland, all them teams, you got to know how to win ugly, man. You got to know how when your shot's not falling. Knicks only took 15 threes tonight, right? They got you on smash from the three-point line. So how do you win the game? How do you win the game, right? And, of course, people are going to say, oh, you just go and just go make layups. So you shoot a, 15-footer. If you're not used to doing that, if you've never had games to where you had to kind of make it an ugly, dirty win, right? If you haven't had games in that, you don't have experience from that, you're going to struggle in the playoffs. And to me, that's what tonight felt like. It felt like a playoff game. It felt like a throwback to the 90s. It felt like that. So to me, with all this offensive firepower, I wanted to see, can the Knicks win a game like this? Are they able to dig deep and say, all right, our shot's not falling from three, or they kind of limited us. They ran us off the three-point line. How are we able to pull out a victory like this? Are we able, in football, we call it bite down on your mouthpiece and say, all right, this is going to be one of them type of games. And able to match their intensity and their ruggedness, because that's what they are, man. That's what they are. You got to understand what you're dealing with here with these guys. And I think that once the Knicks matched that intensity, they took off after that. Now, Towns has got to get better with these fouls, man. This is like 3 games in a row now. He's been struggling with these fouls. Most teams know, like, at this point, they've kind of got a good sample size of the Knicks. They know how dangerous we are offensively when Cat's out there. But if Cat is getting in these, like, just these insane fouls, like just I don't know, man. Just you got to know how the refs are calling it. You got to pay attention to that. Excuse me, and realize that they're not going to give you every call. They're just not. So, how are you going to be able to kind of adjust to that? How are you going to be able to kind of be disciplined enough to say, all right, let me, be careful about how, you don't reach in, don't do anything. Like, just move my feet, rotate. Shot is up, block, box out well, don't push. Don't, when you take them big Ewing steps, hook someone's arm. Like, don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a lot of discipline, I think, with him. I mean, outside of that, he's a great ball player. I'm happy he's here, but just these fouls. And what happens is, people watch tape, man. They say, yo, man, it's easy to get Cat in foul trouble. He just kind of just does boneheaded plays. Guys are going to scheme for that. So now teams are going to try to get you into foul trouble. They're going to try to kind of like, trick you into it. So you got to be a sharp enough player to where you're smart to where you know how to, stay away from that. And I think that's something he's got to get better with, man. He's got to get extremely better with it because that's what's really going to help us, man, get to the next level is him. Offensively, we're on a different level, right? We just are. So now it's like, okay, now that we have Cat, what do we look like? What can we do, right? And so teams are going to kind of want to get him off the court, man. Because when he's out there, man, we're a totally different team offensively. So I think that's something he's got to really work on. I think so. I think so. The other dynamic, too, of this game, if you kind of play attention, I thought Brunson was solid tonight. But with Towns not playing well, against, on a Christmas Day game, and Brunson kind of being shaky on a Christmas Day game, it showed how great our role players really are, right? So You saw in the Christmas Day game, of course, Bridges had 41. But you see tonight, Josh Hart was the guy, right? So all in all, you're starting to see our role players really come together. That OG Anunoby had a quiet night tonight. He only had 8 points. I love Shamet coming off the bench, right? He had 7 big points. It was a great sighting seeing him. I thought he played well tonight. Knocked down a couple of shots, right? So I think Tibbs is going to slowly but surely start to get him into the rotation. So I think that that's a good thing to see. But what we're showing is that we're able to win whether our stars have a big night or whether they don't. And I think that's big, man. That's big because once again, man, for me, I'm thinking about the playoffs. Like that's my most important thing. That's what I'm thinking about because I already know what this team is going to be. Right now, we're 21-11. Right out of 31 games, we're 21. I think we're going to wind up being probably win these next 2 games. Right here, of course, but we got Washington back to back. So I think we win those 2 games, right? So we're going to wind up being 23 and 10 in 33 games. So I think we're going to be good, man. We're going to be really, really good. And so for me, it's not so much, going forward what we are now. It's what we're going to do in the playoffs. That's what I'm thinking about. And so it's good to see our role players really identify their strengths and their weaknesses. So if Towns doesn't have it going or he's in foul trouble or Brunson's having a tough night, you have all your supporting cast, all those guys step up in big moments because they've done it during the regular season. And so to me, that's why games like this for Josh Hart is important, and games like what happened on Christmas Day for Mikal Bridges are very important. And of course, that 40-point game in Denver for OG Anunoby is very important because all these guys are confident because they've had big moments during the season, right? So I think that's huge for our team going forward. All right, so let's take a look at the percentage here. Look at that. We shot 54% from the field. They shot 37, right? Like I said earlier, we only took 15 three-point shots, 15. On the broadcast, they said that's an all-time low. That's the lowest three-point attempts for any team this season, any team in the league. We were 4 for 15. They were 10 for 33. Free throw lines, our free throw shooting has been struggling too, man. We were 24 for 34. So this game could have easily been, if we had made 10 more free throws, we would have 118 points, 118. Missed 10 free throws today. I was noticed like, what's going on with these guys, man? They're missing a lot of free throws, but it is what it is. They were 11 for 12. We out-rebounded them today, 44 to 32. Of course, that's a big part of Josh Hart. Fast break points, 19 points to their 2. And look at the points in the paint, guys. 60 points to their 34 points in the paint, right? I thought that's what it was, man. We pretty much were aggressive all night, right? But towards the end, we started really picking up the pace and really saying, okay, cool. You're not going to, give us a 3, we'll take the 2. That's no problem. And we'll kind of blow you out that way. And so that's why I said it was a, grimy, rugged win, right? And we needed that New York muscle to pull it out. Right. So if you look at the stats here, I mean, it tells you everything. It tells you the ball game. We didn't even shoot threes. We only shot 15. This was truly, truly a throwback game. A throwback game if there ever was one, right? And I thought that that's how we played today. And I thought it was great because you're going to have games like this in the playoffs once again. And so I love to see that. I truly do, man. I truly do. It was good to see Shamet tonight, right? It was good to see him. Good to see that shoulder looks fine. I think he's going to be a key part to what it is we do going forward, right? We didn't really see much of Cameron Payne tonight, but I think with the addition of Shamet now, you're going to see some Payne, but not that much, right? You're going to really see more Shamet because, believe it or not, he's going to help in a lot of ways with getting minutes for Bridges. Because let me see how many minutes did Bridges play tonight. Wow, Bridges played 44 tonight, man. I thought he was going to play more than that. Bridges played 44. He played the most. So I was hoping that with Shamet back, that could really help. But I think he's getting Shamet back into the flow with things, right? Because he played 10 minutes tonight. So, that's something to monitor too. Because I think with the addition of him, we can kind of monitor Bridges' minutes, right? Because if it's up to Tibbs, man, he'll keep Bridges in the whole game. And that's what we don't want, right? We want to still kind of keep these guys fresh and ready for that playoff run, man, because I think we can really knock down quite a few wins here, man. Quite a few wins, because right now we won 6 in a row, right? Out of our last 20, we're 16 and 20. So we're really kind of getting our stride here, really getting some wins underneath our belt, which I think is great. But having a guy back like Shamit, I think is great because now you bring another offensive punch along with Deuce. And also, too, it helps with the rotation as far as getting everybody some minutes, right? Some time to rest to where they can kind of relax and be fresh. And then if it gets to the point where, it's a blowout win, you feel comfortable having Shamit out there running with that second unit because, he's a seasoned pro. He can knock down shots. He can defend. So you're not really feel like you're missing much. So you put him out there with a guy like Deuce and, of course, Campaign, Pressure Chew. And then when Mitch comes back, what is that? 5 guys coming off the bench for Tibbs, right? So, I heard Alan Hahn state also too that he thinks that with Shamit back, now Tibbs can have, a 9-man rotation, right? Which will be good because it can help spell some minutes. So we'll see what happens, man, with that because Bridges played 44 minutes again tonight. So we got to kind of monitor that. But it's good to see him back. All right, man, let's listen to the star of the game, man, Josh Hartman. He had an exceptional night.
What I have 23, but 10 in the fourth quarter, 13 rebounds. But in all seriousness, so what were the keys in the second half for you guys? Suggs picked up that 5th personal, and then it was all Knicks the rest of the way.
Yeah, man. Obviously he's a terrific defender, but he's very aggressive, and sometimes we use that. Oh, thanks, man. How you doing? That aggression, against him and try to get him in actions and get him in foul trouble. So we were able to do that, and then go out there and just execute.
Josh, you hit 1 3 in this game. The team only hit 4. You guys proved that you can win in different ways in the NBA, not just all threes anymore.
Yeah, hopefully that helps ratings because isn't that why ratings are down because we shoot too many threes. So, yeah, man, this special thing about this team, we can win games where we don't shoot the ball well, don't shoot many threes. JB can have a bad game, Cat can have a bad game, whoever it is, but we have enough depth and enough, talent to win games.
The roommate show stealing all the ratings, Josh.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, congratulations on the win. Terrific game. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Now, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through Rock with LV Live today. Big win for the boys in MSG South 2.0 in Orlando by beating them 108-85. Josh Hart, 23 points, 13 rebounds. What I loved what he said was that what I've been talking about, right? It's how you win. Nick. It doesn't matter if they don't take that many threes. It doesn't matter. They just get the win, man. And they're able to know how to win in different ways. And one thing Alan Hahn said on the telecast tonight, which I thought was fabulous. This guy right here, man, is like so big to what it is that we do. Huge. And every championship team needs a guy like this. They do. This guy does it all, man. He does it all. And the things that he does, the little things that he do, they don't get put in the stat sheet, man. The tip balls. I mean, of course, they have the deflections, right? But just his quick twitch muscles, right, to where able to react to the ball. Diving on the floor, like hustle points, like plus and minuses for the hustle points, like all those things. I don't think they have that. But that's what he is. He would be at the top of the league when it comes to something like that. I said it before and I'm going to say it again. Jalen Brunson changed things when he came here, but when this guy came here, he changed everything, man. He brought that New York grit back. He's the one that brought it back. Brunson, yes, but this guy here, man, he brought it and it spills over into everybody else. And you got to love it, man. He does things out there that the coach doesn't ask him to do. He just does it. He knows how to get the ball. He knows how to push it, make layups. He knows how to make the right pass. He knows how to get in the right position to get an offensive rebound, to get a tip, just to be in the mix. Sometimes there's loose balls in the air for rebounds. He's able to get it, put it back, or able to get it, swing it to somebody to knock down a three. Those little things, man, that do not go on the stat sheet. There should be a picture of him in the NBA dictionary for that, and it should be Josh Hart. I thought he was the reason, man. I thought he was the reason that changed the momentum in this game because of his tenacity. He matched that Orlando Magic like grittiness and how grimy they want to get in the game. They want to make the game muddy, right? They want to do that. He matched that intensity. And when he did that, everybody else stepped it up a notch with that same grit, right? As far as Precious Achiuwa, of course, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, everybody. So to me, he's the star tonight. He's the star. And you got to love what he's doing, man. You got to love what he's doing. You got to love that he's with us, man. I'm so happy, man. I'm telling you, because he changes everything. He just does. And you just gotta love what he brings, man. You really, really do, because oh man, I'm just being honest, man. I don't know where the Knicks would be without him. Coach, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. Big win for the boys, 108-85. The captain, Jalen Brunson, 26 big points, 9 assists. And so I just thought that, I just think that he changes everything for us, man. He really does, man. He really truly does. And I just, once again, man, I'm just glad he's with us. I'm glad he's on our team. I'm telling you right now, because I know, man, when you get in money time, when you get in those situations to where the game is kind of muddy and it's kind of like just gets really, really ugly in the playoffs, you need an attack dog like him, man. You need that guy, because that's what he does. And then he picks it up for everybody else. That same type of momentum, that same type of tenacity, he picks it up and he just brings it for everybody. Remember, the other night, right, in the Christmas Day game, he was the reason we won that game, because of his hustle, diving on the floor, getting the ball, rolling out to Brunson, then getting a loose ball in the corner that got tipped out. He had that quick twitch muscle to go grab it. He's like a strong safety in football, man. He just knows where to be at all times, man. He's like Ed Reed. If anybody doesn't know who Ed Reed is, man, do your research, man. And that's what he is, man. So you got it. So there's no. I'm trying to find the word here, man. There's not enough things that, he just does so many things, man. I'm trying to find the right words to say, but he's so many things he does that it's no limit, man. It's no limit. He does it all. And now he's knocking down threes. You leave him open, he's knocking it down. And he makes big shots. He makes timely shots. When the shot clock's going down, he makes that spin around fall-away jumper. He's always making that. He gets the rebound. He pushes it up the court. He changes the momentum of the game. He does that all the time. And he's the type of guy that can give the Knicks the edge in the series against Boston or in the NBA Finals. It's the little things that he does can give you the edge to pull out the series win. That's the importance of Josh Hart. Tim, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. Big win for the boys, 108-85 in MSG South 2.0 Orlando. By 23 points, they blew them boys out in that second half. The captain, Jalen Brunson, 26 points, 9 assists. Hey, man, I thought Brunson was good also, too, man. I thought Brunson was sensational. I really, truly did. I think he had his moments also. Now, of course, people are going to say, LV, man, he did all right. Yo, man, Brunson was keeping the faucet on. Because at one point, guys, I'm being honest, I was getting a little worried. Because I was like, yo, man, offensively, we're kind of struggling in that first half. But Brunson was able to hit a couple fallaways. He was able to kind of get in his bag a little bit. I was like, okay. And Brunson was keeping it close. He was keeping it close. And I said, all right. I said, we're good right now. We're good. I'm not going to lie. I was getting a little worried. Because the way they was kind of playing, like they was playing real grimy, man. And I was nervous because I felt like in the first half, we weren't really matching their intensity. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that we weren't matching their intensity. And I thought that was something we should have really kind of been locked in on, and we weren't. And I didn't like that. And so when Josh Hart came out and he started playing with his Josh Hart effort and stuff like that, I kind of like that. I said, okay, someone could finally wake these boys up because they're kind of struggling with, just that energy, man, just that tenacity. And I didn't really like that. And so I thought it was important, for us to kind of be able to play with that type of energy. And I thought it was, spearheaded by the captain, man. I thought the captain really carried us in those moments. I thought he did. Hey guys, what did you think about OG Anunoby tonight, man? He's been kind of quiet as of late offensively, man. I think he's still trying to find his shooting touch. Right? As I was watching, I'm like, okay, OG Anunoby kind of seems like he's unsure of certain things offensively. I don't know. He just doesn't seem to have it. Right? So that's something to monitor too with him, right? Because he brings it defensively, like he does. But kind of weird. Like weird games he has like offensively, right? But the effort is still there. The effort is still there. But he just seemed like just offensively. I think what game was it? I think the other night, right? Wasn't Toronto? He had 31, right? I thought he played well there, right? But it's been certain games where he's kind of not really kind of been missing in action offensively. Defense is there, but I thought offensively he's kind of been off a little bit. Right? But, just kind of just watching him offensively. So, I think that kind of like that all-star talk is kind of faded, right? Don't you guys think? That's kind of faded like with the all-star talk. Though he's been playing well defensively. But I think that whole 40-point barrage in Denver it kind of still stalled out a bit. But you got to love what he's doing on the defensive end, right? Because I thought he was great defensively today as well, right? I thought he was great defensively against Wemby the other night, right? So he's had his moments, but I think offensively, he's not a creator. So, we're not really looking for him to kind of go out and just, make his own shot. He can, but, sometimes he puts the ball on the floor. I'm like, oh, man, don't dribble too much. Don't dribble too much. but I thought he was solid tonight, man. I thought he was solid. All right, guys, let's listen to the coach, man. Let's see what the coach is talking about. Listen to tips.
Second half, so the rebounding was good, the defense was good, and then when we did turn it over, which obviously you don't want to do, but I thought we hustled and we didn't give points off those turnovers, so I think that was important as well. And then we had a number of guys like Josh and Jalen were fantastic, and Mikhail giving us what he gives us, so it's good.
You said with a game like that, where it's choppy and physical, is that sort of what Josh flourishes in?
Yeah, I mean, it's I think our team does, and so that's Cat likes a physical game. Jalen loves a physical game. I think those guys are physical. Josh is physical. Mikhail is like, people don't realize how wiry strong he is. And he loves contact, and he loves playing in the paint. And so, and OG's the same way. And then, you go to bench guys. Deuce loves physicality. Precious loves the physicality. Cam loves so that's the way we have to play. I thought Landry gave, first time back, gave us good minutes too.
When people talk about Josh, they like to just put like the energy label on him. He seems like a guy that just makes basketball simple. How valuable is that for a guy that just does all the right things the right way at the right time?
And again, it's we need consistency from him on every game. When we get that, it's going to be good.
Coach, you guys continue to improve the way that you guys are playing in the road. 11 and 6 now in the road and 10 and 4 at home. What is the reason of the chemistry that you guys are getting right now at this point of the season?
Yeah, and we, obviously we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. I think the important thing for us is, daily improvement. And so don't lose sight of that. If we have a good game, understand what we have to correct and try to improve the next game. don't change, don't get away from that. I think we're a lot better today than we were at the beginning of the season. But we also know we got a long way to go, and there's a lot of things that we have to do better.
Also, I think the sixth game in a row. So how difficult is it to play back-to-back games, you guys? Tomorrow.
And that's it. That's the beauty of the league. If you love competition, that's what you embrace, and you love that. Like, what's our next challenge? Like, so that we're already thinking about what we know how we're going to have to play. Washington's playing well, and we got to be ready. And so what goes into winning is always the same. And like sometimes I think it oftentimes gets misguided where people, they talk about the will to win. It's not really the will to win. It's the will to prepare to win. And if you get yourself ready the right way, you're going to be consistent. If you don't get yourself ready the right way, you're going to be up and down. And so whatever the challenge is, embrace it and prepare yourself well.
It's been a few games now with Cat's gotten in early foul trouble. What are you seeing there? Is there something he needs to be doing differently?
Yes and no. I mean, I think there's good aggressive fouls, and then there's fouls that obviously are cheap that you have to clean up. And so I think that's the important thing, is for him to understand the difference between the two and how's it being called. And I think discipline is probably the most important thing. And we want the contact, but we also want it to be done with intelligence. And I think that's a big part of physicality. It's a big part of winning. And what are the officials looking for? He's been around long enough to know there's things that they're looking for that trigger calls, right? So be disciplined, the verticality being one of them, setting screens, and that's twofold, because oftentimes that's partly the responsibility of the ball handler, setting up the screening angle, so the two go hand in hand. And I think the more time that we have together as a team, the better we're going to get at that. I thought Deuce made a really good play late. It was off movement. Cat set a good screen, rolled down the lane, and the spacing was good. He got out of the screen perfectly. And when he does that, he's going to pull so many people with him, and then the corner three-point shooting opens up the roll to the rim. But the pass was great, the screen was great, and I think anytime that a screen is an act of unselfishness, so it creates an advantage. And when we can create advantages, we're going to get a good offense. We have guys who can score the ball, and so create as many advantages as we can and play as a team.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Oh man, I thought Tibbs was on the money tonight. Where's BK LA, man? What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through, rocking with the LV Live. Big win for them boys in MSG South 2.0 Orlando. 108-85. Josh Hart, 23 big points, 13 rebounds. Yo, Wiz, man, happy holidays to you, man. Hope everything's out there okay in LA, man. I'm still trying to get out there, man. Let me know, Wiz. Let me know. Hey, Wiz, I'm looking at Santa Clarita. All right, Wiz, I'm looking at Palos Verdes, Wiz. Palos Verdes and Newbury Park. Wiz, let me know what's up, man. Let me know what's up. I thought Tibbs made a lot of great points there, man. A lot of great points. I love the fact also that he talked about, guys loving physicality, right? Because you're going to need that. You're going to need that to win in this league, especially how the game is being called. They're kind of like letting things, teams be a lot more physical. So you got to know how to win like that, man. You got to love the physicality. You got to love it. You got to really embrace it. I'm glad that Tibbs mentioned that about his ball club, right? Because you got to love that, man. Because it's going to be like that in the playoffs. They're not going to give you no gimmies. They're not. So you got to be able to play through that. I also love that he touched on the whole Towns piece, right? Because he was just saying kind of basically what I was saying. You got to be disciplined, man. You got to recognize how they're calling the game. And Towns has got to do a better job with that. He's got to really be able to identify like how the game is being called, who's the refs that are calling the game tonight. Like all those nuances you got to know, man. Because if you're out there getting ticky-tack fouls, you're not really helping the team. So you got to be smart enough and disciplined enough to know when to go in there and be aggressive, when to kind of fall back. Like you got to kind of be like that because These last 3 games have kind of bothered me with him not being smart and identifying like how the refs are calling it, man. So I love that. I love that. You know what I mean? But Tibbs was on point tonight. You know, of course, he talked about towards the end also too. He talked about the versatility of this lineup. You know, dudes coming in, making a good pass, right? Also too with Cat going down there, of course, with the flush, right? So he's talking about how everybody could score. Like, so you know, what can you do to help the team win in other ways too? Right. So that to me is what's going to be big for this team, right? Because we got a whole bunch of guys that can fill it up offensively. But it's all those little things that's going to really kind of impact winning. So if you can do that, right, that's really going to help kind of push us over the top, man. And we can maybe make a really, really, really good run here. All right, cool. All right, let me kind of remove this. Go back here. Let me see what everybody's in here, man. I appreciate everybody coming through rocking with LV Live tonight. Happy holidays to everybody, man. Hope everybody's getting ready for New Year's. Anybody going out for New Year's, man? Let me know, man. Anybody going out? Everybody gonna be chilling tonight, man. Chilling in their crib, man. Let me know what's going on, man. Big Taz says, I know that Josh Hart is so annoying to other teams because he was annoying to me when he was with the Blazers. Yeah, man, he does it all, man. He does it all, Big Taz. But he's very similar to Campaign, right? Those are guys you hate, but you love on your team, right? So he's perfect, man. But he's changed everything, Big Taz. He's changed everything. Big Taz says the Knicks show versatility in this game by scoring inside the arc. Agreed. Nigga need to do that, Big Taz, especially in the playoffs. That's all I'm thinking about, Big Taz. What are we going to be able to do in the playoffs? Regular season is a regular season, but I'm thinking of because that's how I'm foreseeing this team. By the way we're looking, the way we're playing, we keep everybody healthy. We're going to win over 50 games, right? So I'm looking at us being a top 3 seed in the East. So what are we going to do in those moments when it gets tough in the playoffs and the three's not falling? You got to be able to knock down those 2-point shots, man. You got to be able to do that. Rondo says, good physical win, way to play tough and get the W. Agreed. Disc Rover says, I just want to say that if anybody got me, I know that Josh Hart got me. Agreed. Knicks on the GM said, if I never hear Alan Hahn again, it will be too soon. I think Alan Hahn did all right, man. Thought he did all right tonight. I said this on Ant Stream. Okay, Ant, big shout to him. We became a different animal, but the same beast. Okay, agreed. These past 2 games should be an eye-opener. Okay, regarding to what? Our stars was not stars in either game, but we still won. That's the beauty of this, Knicks 100 GM, that if our stars didn't play well, it doesn't matter. We still won the game. That is what pushes you over the top to win championships because you have a great supporting cast. And so that's the key to me about tonight's win and the other game against the Spurs on Christmas Day is that our stars didn't play great, but you have a guy like Josh Hart and a guy like Mikal Bridges stepping it up. Knicks 100 GM said they're not a dirty team. They just play extremely hard. Yeah, they play hard. They play hard. They kind of do a little dirty tactics, man. You know what I mean? Little things because, but I do like their tenacity, man. I do like what they play. They're throwback, man. They're throwback. So you got to match their intensity because they're not good offensively. So you got to match that intensity, and that's how you're going to beat that team. Knicks 100 GM says, Hahn kept dwelling on how dirty the Magic are, but when the Hart kicked Suggs in the knee, he didn't kick him in the knee. That was incidental, man. He straight went with the elbow and knocked Cat in the mouth, man, and bust his lip. Suggs be doing dirty stuff. And then he went to the rack, kicking his legs out and kicked Brunson where the sun don't shine. And Brunson looked at the ref like, yo, what did I do? I'm trying to get out the way. He's kicking. I got kicked. Come on, man. And my man, I'm being honest with you. The last 3 games, they're hacking us all over the place. all over the place. Like, I get it. You can be physical all you want, but they're playing like an 80s and 90s style of basketball. They're hacking, they're throwing elbows, they're doing all types of stuff, and they're getting away with it. And I also saw this too, guys. They've had 7 straight home games. They've had 7 straight home games. So they've been able to get away with a lot of stuff because of home cooking. Everybody go check the schedule. They played 7 straight at home. 7 straight. They almost played. If you want to round it up, we do the stuff for math. We all learn math. If you want to round it up, they've played almost 10 straight home games. Straight. With no away game in the middle. I'm drinking my late night tea, man. It's on the money, man. This Rover says they fouled the door. Yeah, man, absolute. All 3 games. Oh, word up, man. That's what I'm saying. Listen. I agreed. I'm not saying they play dirty. I'm not saying, but they are hacking. They're hackers, man. And they like to hook and grab arms. They do all types of stuff because they're trying to bully you on the court. Well, all that happened in this game, honestly, is the Knicks matched that intensity in the second half. They started playing just as rugged. And the Magic couldn't hang with it because offensively they can't hang with us. So we matched that intensity that they brought on top of knocking down shots, getting steals. Josh Hart being Josh Hart, they couldn't hang. That's why we blew them out by 23. So we played them, 3 times, right? 3 times. We blew them out 2 out of 3. The first time, how much we almost had them boys by 40 in that first game at the Garden. We blew their doors off. Second game was kind of grimy. This game was kind of grimy. We kind of got used to it in the second half. I thought we had to wake up in the first half. We got used to it in the second half. We blew their doors off. This Rover says, Suggs need Josh. Yeah, the Julia. Yeah, man. He got rewarded with the N1. Word up. That's all I'm saying. It is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not complaining, but I'm not going to sit there and act like they play hard and stuff like that, man, but they're kind of, they be doing low-key dirty stuff, man. I be watching them. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? They trying to scratch and claw and get wins, man. I get it, but they be kind of doing like low-key stuff, man, like little sneaky stuff. Now it says Josh is our backbone. Agreed. Yeah, Suggs plays on the edge. Yeah, he does, man. He plays on the edge, man. He plays like he's still playing football sometimes. But you got to understand, Suggs comes from nothing. I don't know if he comes from nothing. What does that mean? Like, he was my man. He was an All-American in both football and basketball coming out of high school. He could have won either or. He was a top recruit in football and a top recruit in basketball. He chose basketball and went to Gonzaga. But he could have went D1 for football, man. He was one of the top recruits coming out of high school. And he chose hoops. Smart man, but I'm just saying, I don't know if the kid comes from nothing. He might come from a decent family, man. I don't know. Coach says, why is Matt Ryan still here? Yo, I don't know, man. I think they gave him they gave him a 2-way, right? They gave him a 2-way. Matt Ryan is cheap and generates threes every so often. Agreed. My man said he also brings vibes. Tim, Hart plays with the same passion Starks played with in the 90s, right? Gotta love it. Agreed, man. Agreed. He is like Starks. But he's got a little bit more athleticism than Starks. Starks wasn't really good on the boards like that. Starks would get after it defensively. You know what I'm saying? Like he would be feisty. You know who Starks was more like, Tim? Starks is more like DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo and Starks are very similar. But he doesn't have the junkyard dog that I would say Josh Hart does. Because Josh Hart does it all. He dives on the floor. He's like Oakley, man. He's like a smaller version of Oakley. but he's got the same tenacity and the same heart as John Starks, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. But yes, my favorite thing about Josh Hart this season is that he's not passing up on good shots. Agreed. But Big Task, you know what that is, man? That's shooting with confidence. That's being confident, man, in the work that you put in. Like JB says, right? Like the captain says, the magic is in the work, man. The magic is in the work. And you're seeing it. You're seeing it. I mean, OG dropped 31 against Toronto on Monday. Yeah, he did, right? So I was right. Yeah, man, listen. OG, all I'm saying is that he's been kind of like inconsistent on the offensive end, but because he's so great on the defensive end, man, it doesn't really matter. And he's got other guys around him that can pick up at that aspect. I've just been noticing the last couple of games he's been kind of quiet offensively, but it's not really a big deal. You know what I'm saying? It's not really a big deal. But Chad says LV Men's, Mikal Bridges, and OG, they would trade places. Nah, I don't think they trade places. I don't think they trade places. You know what I'm saying? I think Bridges is just getting more comfortable, man, in his role. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really know what his role was prior. And I think he's still trying to figure that out. And now he's kind of, you know what I mean? He's kind of able to, kind of get that going. And now he's rocking and rolling, man. He's getting busy. Knicks 100 GM said OG is not a star. He's a role player. I don't know, man. I disagree with that. I disagree with that. I think he is a star. The only thing that's missing from his skill set is just being a lot more consistent offensively. Like if he can average anywhere between 17 to 25 points a game, he would be in an all-star game pretty much probably almost every year. But he's kind of like in that weird place of like averaging like 14 to 17. He's got to kind of turn the corner as far as point production. This Grover says OG is a star. Tim says, what I love about this team, anybody in our starting lineup can win a game for us on any given night. Tim agreed, man. Agreed. And to me, that's the biggest thing, man. That's the biggest thing because you're going to have it some nights, Tim, where, certain guys don't have it going. Mr. Blanks, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live. Big win for them boys, 108 to 85. Josh Hart, 23 points, 13 boards. You know what I'm saying? And so whenever you're on this team, right, Tim, whenever you kind of have like, your stars don't really step it up, they're kind of struggling, right? And you have, those role players that really step up and can get busy, especially with Bridges having 41, OG and Obi having 40 the other night when he played Denver, then 31 against Toronto, right? You're having your role players, Josh Hart tonight, 23 and 13, right? So Brunson or Towns don't have, and those guys are able to step up. And then you get, big contributions from a guy like, Shamet coming off the bench. We're going to be dangerous, man. We're going to be really, really dangerous. And we're good now. But I think against the elite teams, I think we're going to be dangerous. Wiz BKLA, man, says Hart is a Swiss Army knife who hits clutch shots and makes clutch plays. I remember when we grumbled some after we paid him $20 million a year, knowing that he would be a bench player. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that, Wiz. I remember people saying we paid him too much. Nah, man, he be making more right now, man. How much is he making? How much? I think he's only getting like $85 million a year. Let me look at what's Josh Hart's contract. Wiz got me thinking now. Yeah, he's only getting $80 million, man. He signed for 4 years, $80 million with us, man. That's a steal. That's a steal, man. He's getting 4 years, $80 million. Right now, if he was to go like to someplace like, oh man, like if he was to go someplace like Dallas, Oh man. Yo. He probably be making over 100 million with them, man. Probably like 115. 115. He probably make a good like 20 million more, man. He would get that out there from a championship team. A contender, he would get that. So he's only getting 80 from us. 80. So right now, that's a bargain right now. That's a bargain, man. He would get, man, listen, man. You know how much bread he would get out there right now? I'm talking about from a contender. Not only these bum teams. I'm talking about a team that's right there, that's ready. Right? How much Caruso getting? I think he's better than Caruso. How much Caruso getting, man? So Caruso just signed 3 days ago. Ready? Caruso got 4 years, 81 million. He got the same thing as Josh Hart. See what I'm saying? So these guys, I think Josh Hart is better than Caruso. Right? But they're similar players. So they get that's the market. But I think Josh Hart could demand more, though, man. He could demand more. Because he's been part of more winning. You know what I'm saying? Especially being in the playoffs. You've seen kind of like what he's done in the playoffs, right? So all those things matter. Like that ups your value. And playing in a place like New York. Playing here, look what it did for iHeart, man. Look how much money iHeart got. iHeart wasn't getting nothing like that. Slim Boggs, man. What's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live tonight. Big win for them boys, 108 to 85. The captain, Jalen Brunson, 26 points, 9 assists. Slim Boggs, I hope all is well with you, man. Happy holidays to you and yours. It's been a while, man. I hope all is going well with you, sir. You know what I'm saying? So it matters where you play and when you play. Meaning that you could play in New York, in Boston, in the Lakers, with Miami, and playing like big moments, like in these big markets, and play really, really, really well. And you're on TV and you're in primetime basketball games, right, in the playoffs. That raises your level. That's why iHeart got so much bread, man. He wasn't getting nothing like that prior to coming to the Knicks. But coming here, he pretty much like upped his value, man. And they saw him in the playoffs getting busy. They said, yo, we need that. We need something like that. So the playoffs changes everything. And playing in a big market. So Josh Hart would get big bread out there, man. Yeah, Caruso just signed, man, 3 days ago. 4 years, 81 million. Is he worth more than Josh Hart? An extra $1 million more? I don't think so. Right now, I think Josh Hart gets like about over 100 million right now out there in the market, man. If the Knicks were kind of put him out there, dangle him out there, I think he would get like over 100, man. Maybe like 120 or something like that. I ain't saying he gets like 212 like what OG Anunoby's getting. He don't get nothing like that. But I could see him getting like 100-something million, like 120. Knicks 100 GM said Bridges ain't no star either. He's a role player. I don't agree with that, man. I don't agree. Yo, what's going on, man? I'm sensing like Nick hate right now. What's going on, man? Something's telling me. I could be wrong. Knicks 100 GM, please correct me. But there has been rumors out there that Sims might be getting traded. Is this what's going on here? Is this what's going on? You got to help me here. Because I'm hearing a lot of Nick hate right now. What's going on, man? What's going on? What's the deal? So I don't know. I think he's a little better than a role player. I think he's missing. I think he's better than a role player. I think he's better than that. I'm sensing some hate right now, man. Sims ain't been playing. There's rumors out there that he's out of here. And the Knicks got him on ice because they're about to ship him. What say you, sir? What say you? Help correct me. I don't mind being corrected. It's my show, but I don't mind being corrected. Help me help you. What's going on tonight, man? This is a big time win for them boys on the road. So what say you? What's going on? Just saying. Okay, let me get back to these comments, man. See everybody coming through rocking with LV Live tonight, man. This is cool, man. I love coming through rocking with y'all, man. Tim said, we started off slow and we're still recouping from the Christmas win. It was a matter of time in the game for them to get chemistry clicking. Yo, man, you know what it is, Tim, man? You saw them on a flight, right? I don't know if you saw it. They was on a flight and they was like, yo, OG Anunoby brought them those Apple goggles, right? The virtual reality joints. He brought them those. So you saw on Twitter, you saw Pressure Chua, you saw like Obi Toppin's brother. So somebody else on a plane coming to Orlando wearing them joints. I guess they were playing with their Christmas toys, with their Christmas gifts. It was on a jet playing. I said, oh man, I said, them boys don't look focused. And I think they needed, you know what I'm saying? I think they needed some time, you know what I'm saying, to kind of get acclimated. They kind of think they was in still virtual reality for the first couple of quarters. Stanley Mann, what's going on, sir? I appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live tonight. Big win for them boys, 108-85. The captain, Jalen Brunson, 26 points, 9 assists. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, sir. But I appreciate you coming through rocking with me and my crew tonight on this evening, sir. I appreciate you coming through, man. Truly do. Okay, so Stanley Mann says Sims being shipped to the Rockets for Aaron Holiday and former OKC Adams. Is that what's happening? Is that what's happening? Let me check right now. Did that just happen? I don't see nothing. I'm hearing the rumors, but I didn't see anything. Okay, so Stanley Mann says no, but the Knicks love Adams and Holiday. Okay. Okay. I mean, we'll see what happens. Would have to trade Mitch in the deal. I don't know, man. I'm not. Stanley, I don't want to move off of Mitch. I don't want to move off of Mitch, man. I still got to see what Mitch looks like when he comes back. Now, if he's not really up to snuff, right? He's kind of still struggling to kind of get his legs back, and he just doesn't look like the same player. Then we could talk about something during the off season, right? But as of now, I want to see what Mitch looks like when he comes back. I really want to give that time, and I think Tibbs and those guys are waiting to see, right? I mean, he's extremely, extremely good in that Baja, man. You got to really respect him in that paint. You have to. Block shots, rebounds. He's another big body to come on there, match him with Precious. And then you can play Mitch with, Mitch with the big cat. So I got to see what Mitch looks like. I'm not ready to deal Mitch off just yet. He's too good of a rebounder and defensive presence. And I think you're going to need that, especially with Towns and his fouls and all this other stuff. You're going to need another big to come in there. And then you have Precious Chua play in his legit position of power forward. I think will be great. I think will be great for us. Okay, where am I at here? With BK saying Newberry Parlors versus a sophisticated bourgeois type, upscale without being too Bel Air flashy. I don't know about Santa Clarita. Okay. All right, Wiz. Wiz, we're gonna talk, Wiz. Thinking about it, man. Thinking about it. Tim said these two last games was battle-tested games. It shows us what the team is and can be. We're still trying to figure it out how to play with one another, which is scary by the time the playoffs come. Agreed, Tim. Agreed. I think this is all like a measuring thing with us. And I think we're right there, man. I think we just have to continue to grow, but we're stacking days, Tim, and we're getting better each time. So I agree. This is all really being put into the memory banks of us learning how to win tough games like this. This rover said, "Oh yeah, we smoked them twice at home." Yeah, agreed. This rover says, "How many must to bring?" Yo, let's get a little wild in here, man. Let's keep it G-rated, people. Suggs has worked for everything he got with the Magic. Yeah, I mean, he has to work, man. It's the league, man. It's the league. He wasn't given anything. Listen, man. Look, this is the league, man. This is the league. I mean, you got to work for everything. Look what happened to Brunson. Brunson was player of the year in college, man. He was the man at Villanova. He went in the second round, B. He didn't even go lottery. He had to work to get to where he's at. He had to work. He couldn't get off the bench in Dallas. So it happens, man. So whatever Suggs had to go through to get to where he's at right now, so be it. This is the league, man. It ain't supposed to be easy. If you don't know, ask Brunson. Mr. Blanks, first game by 15, second game by 9. Tonight, it was a tight first half. Second half, we kept them right to 31 points. Agreed. We had them on smash. Mr. Blank said the Knicks put the Magic into check tonight. Agreed. Yeah, Knicks 100 year. Dante reminded me of Stark so much. Yeah, agreed, man. Agreed. I miss Dante. Yeah, I miss him too, man. I'm telling Dante trying to come back, man. You think Dante calling his boys? I think he calling them, man. I think Dante calling him, man. I think he on the jack, like, yo, what's up, yo? Call Leon. He's telling him, like, yo, call Leon, man. Get me out of here. I know he hates it over there, man. I know he's mad. I know he's like, yo, man, I'm trying to get up out of here. Randall's over there being Randall. He's acted up in the locker room doing the same stuff he was doing with the Knicks. Ant is getting tired of him. I know Dante's like, yo, what type of soap opera I'm in, man? These dudes is wilding over here. Yeah, I want Dante back, man. This Rover. He said, out of here talking about Suggs more than our captain. Yeah, man, he's not better than our captain, man. Next 100 GM says, you're either a star or you're not. You can't pick and choose when you're going to show up. It doesn't happen like that in hoops, man. Those guys always come and play. Look at Brunson's stat line. I thought he played good tonight. I thought he played decent in Christmas, on Christmas Day. I thought he came up with big shots. Thought he came up with big moments. Cat had his moment. Just got in foul trouble. Bridges played bigger, man. So I mean, the guys, it's not like the stars went out there and they didn't do nothing. Now they didn't light it up, but they did something. They still got the look at Brunson. Brunson still got his numbers tonight, 26 and 9. And if I'm correct, Brunson shot great from the field. He shot. Your Brunson was 11 for 21 from the field, man. He shot over 50% from the field. So Brunson was getting busy tonight, man. Getting busy. That fall away was money tonight. These past 2 games, our stars were invisible. They weren't invisible, man. They weren't invisible, man. They had key moments. Non-fact, come on, man. Boss, you are way off on that, man. You listen. You usually have great points. You're way off on that. Way off. You are way off on that. According to Big Task, Dante is tanking. Yo, he is, man. I think he is tanking. He trying to come back home, man. He trying to come back home. I mean, that's just my opinion. Okay. Next one is just say I like Suggs because I understand where he's coming from. He's not good enough to carry a team, but he's gonna do whatever he can to hold down the fort. Nah, listen, I like Suggs, man. I like his tenacity. I like how he gets after it. I think he's a really good ball player, man. He's just, he's got to work his way up, man. He's got to get more consistent with his shot, and also too, I like how he is defensively, but he fouls too much, man. He's out there playing football, man. Like he got to chill out. Like you got to know, like right, if your team needs you and you're the only really good offensive threat, you can't be out hacking and fouling. First of all, I wouldn't be guarding Brunson. I'll be kind of shifted away, maybe guarding somebody like Josh Hart. I would not because they need me in the game, so I'm not going to be out there guarding Brunson baseline to baseline. I'm not doing that. Let somebody else do that because I got to stay in the game. I can't be getting fouled out. I'm the only offensive threat that we have. Tim says, I think the win against the Spurs on Christmas woke this team up, and now we locked in. I want to see how we play against the elite teams. Agreed. Well, we got elite team coming up next week, man. We got OKC, man. At OKC. At OKC. Let me see really quick, see if I can pull up the schedule. Hope everybody's enjoying their evening, man. Yo, today's Friday, man. It feels like today's like Saturday or something. Feels like today's Saturday, man. It's ill, man. It's ill when you get this Christmas break. It's ill how it feels, man. I feel like today's Saturday. It's only Friday, man. All right, cool. It's got the schedule up here real quick. All right, cool. All right, get to a couple more here. Let me see. Stanley Man said Dante had 6 threes tonight, and the Wolves beat down. Oh, they beat the Rockets. Rockets solid, man. Yeah, yo, man, we need Dante back, man. We need Dante back like ASAP. He said Sengun had 39 points tonight, choked at the free throw line, missing 2 out of 4. Yeah, man. Sengun is all right, man, but he's been having some issues. He's been having some issues, man. Udoka hasn't been playing him. Like he'll sub him out the game. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's changed, but they must have some issues with that. Mr. Blank says Minnesota gave an early Christmas present with Cat. The Knicks are a well-rounded team. Any game, any of the starters can go for 40. Makes it hard for opposing teams to defend against us. Well said, sir. Well said. Well said. Well said. Stanley Man said Suggs fires up Brunson. Brunson hates Suggs. And Black. Yeah, they be trying to muscle Brunson, man. He ain't with that, man. We ain't with that. They be trying to do that, but they don't. Vibes, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through rocking with LV Live tonight. Big win for them boys, 108 to 85. Josh Hart, 23 points, 13 rebounds. I would say to myself about Suggs, got to learn how to chip. Yeah, he got to vibes. I mean, Knicks 100, man. He got to know how to deal with that, man. He got to get better with that, man. He got to be a small ball player. That's part of growing up. Vibe says, "What are the Mike Brown firing? What about you know what? he can't keep a job, man. You know what I'm saying? So I think like they won, right? They went to the playoffs, I think, the year before. Like I thought that was all premature. They got a pretty good squad, but the West is tough, man. The West is tough, so you gotta know how to win. And he's kind of probably lost his voice, man, because they're not playing that well this year. They're not. So, if you're not winning, you're gonna lose your job. I mean, that's just what it is in the league. So, your choices and your decisions that you make with your roster matters. Right. So, he had an opportunity in Cleveland, they fired him. Right. I think he went someplace else too. I'm trying to remember where was the other place he went, but just saying this was his opportunity, man. And he kind of dropped the ball. So next on the GMC, I can see Utah wanting Kolick being their demographic. I don't know, man. I don't know if the Knicks are going to give up Kolick. I think they love Kolick. I think they're still trying to develop him. But I mean, if a deal that's kind of something that they really want is across the table, and they need him in a deal, I don't see why they wouldn't do that. Look, they moved Dante, so if they moved Dante, as beloved as he was here, and I'm sure Brunson didn't want him to move him. You know what I'm saying? That speaks volumes, right? This Rover says, since we're bringing up ridiculous trades, what about Giannis? That's funny. That was all cause he's fresh off the Warriors bench. He went to the Lakers. Was he the head coach of the Lakers? Was he the head man over there? I'm trying to remember, man, because I think he got fired. He got fired like twice, man. Right? Mr. Blank says the Mike Brown following doesn't sit well with me. I do understand why he got fired. You do or you don't? You do or you don't? I'm trying to see what you mean by that. Tim says, I said the same thing earlier, LV. Do it feel like Saturday? Laughing, I guess. Yeah, right. Tim feels ill, right? Tomorrow's Saturday, man. It feel like tomorrow's gonna be Sunday. I feel like tomorrow's gonna be Sunday, man. It's ill. It's ill. Mr. Blanks, what do you mean about that with Mike Brown, man? I mean, listen, man. I mean, he has a really good team over there. They got some good ball players. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. And the West is tough, but you still got to be able to win with your troops. He's got some stars over there. They got Fox. They got, of course, what's the big man's name? I forget his name. It's kind of slipping my mind. But they got some solid ball players over there. They do. So, you got to be able to still win some games. But, I don't know, was that first year they went to the playoffs, was that fool's gold? I don't know. You want your team trending up. See, the Knicks are trending up. That's why Tibbs got that extension. They're trending up. So, you understand right now the Knicks are one of the best teams in the league right now. Right? So, you got to be trending up, man, upwards. And so I don't know if they probably saw that happening in Sacramento. All right, guys. So this is the next schedule, man. Let me read off to you. We got Washington back to back tomorrow and Monday. We got Washington, so we're pretty much gonna be in DC for the next 3 days, right? Then on New Year's Day, we got Utah at home. Then we're back on the road again. Excuse me. Then we're back on the road again in OKC in Chicago, right? So I say we go 4-1 in those next 5 games. We definitely beat Washington twice, which is going to make us 23-11, right? I think we beat Utah at home 24-11. Excuse me, 24-10. I'm bugging. Got my numbers wrong. 24-10. I think we lose to OKC, which will make us 24-11. And then I think we beat Chicago, which is going to make us 25-11. I think we see Orlando again at home on the 6th. I think we beat them, which is going to make us 27-11. I think we beat Toronto at home. I think we get OKC at home. I think we get them this time. Then I think we get Milwaukee. We beat them at home. And then I would think we beat Detroit at home. And then we got Philadelphia on January 25th. So these next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. These next 10 games, I think the Knicks can go 9-1. I think we can go 9-1. Because out of the next 10 games, right, guys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out of the next 10 games, 6 of those games are at home. And the 2 games that are away are both at Washington. So we're basically only like away 2 games, just in OKC and Chicago. So I think we can really get busy and do some damage, man. I think we can. I think we really can. Which says, I love Precious, man, but we're going to have another iHeart situation this summer when his contract expires. I don't know. I don't know if he gets that much out there in the market, man. Because offensively, he struggles, man. He's very limited offensively. So is the team going to be willing to pay him $40 million, $30 million? I don't know if he gets that. I don't know if he gets that. And I would not be surprised if he takes, because remember, he went out there to try to get a deal. He played really good in the playoffs and good for us last year. And he didn't really have a market. He didn't really have a market. Nobody really wanted him. So I think he still stays with the Knicks, man. I think he still stays with the Knicks and he gets a good deal. I don't know if he gets big money out there. I don't know if that happens. I don't know if that happens for him. Tim says, I can see Mike Brown getting another job. I can see him coaching Minnesota. That might be a good fit for him. A head coaching job, Tim, or he's coaching on the bench? I can see him being a bench coach for a minute. Kind of doing what Darvin Ham is doing. I can see that happening like for a minute. And then a couple of years, maybe he might rise to the coaching ranks again. This Rover says we need to hold on to our rookies for a deal life, right? For a dear life, because we don't have any more picks for our future. I don't want us to be one and done franchise. Agreed. Mr. Banks said, I do understand why he got fired. De'Aaron Fox didn't feel comfortable with inconsistency with the defense. I do feel like they got lucky that first year he was a head coach of Cavs twice. Agreed. Okay, so yeah, man. I mean, you got a star there in De'Aaron Fox, right? And you got Sabonis. That's the kid's name in the middle. He's another star. So you got 2 all-stars there. They should be winning a lot more games than how they are, man. They should be like middle of the pack. I don't know what their record is, but they should be what the Rockets are this year. How about that? Let me say that. What the Rockets are this year, that's what they should be. But they're not. So they're not going to fire the whole team, right? So, Tim says, I think we can win all 10 games, 30-10. You heard it here first. Look at that. Tim's going big time. This Rover says we need to do a development. We need to develop Slim Fast and Matt Ryan as much as we can to work at Wingy Hurt Jr. Yo, that's funny, man. That's funny, man. Yo, Dottie A gonna be a truth, man. I think he's gonna be real good. Matt Ryan can't defend this Rover. That's the issue with him. So I would rather keep Shamit and let him rock with us than Matt Ryan. You know what I'm saying? Matt Ryan can't defend. Shaman can defend. You saw he had a steal tonight, had a deflection. He's pretty solid defensively. So I would rather keep him than Matt Ryan. But I like Dottie, man. I like Dottie a lot. You just gotta get older, man. That's all. Seriously, as an assistant LV, so if they coach, you gotta ain't making him right. Yeah. He's gonna it's gonna take him time, Tim, to kind of get things together. Yeah, Pac-Man's the total, but yeah, he is. He is. All right, listen, guys. Listen, that's my show, man. Listen, let me get up out of here. Listen, I'll be back tomorrow to talk about the Washington Wizards game. So please come through and check that out. All right. But listen, guys, that's my show. I appreciate everybody coming through, rocking with LV live tonight. All right. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, people. Right. Also, too, if you're watching this on replay, it's your first time coming by to the channel, please subscribe. And also, too, please leave comments because I do respond to comments. All right, but listen, but that's my show. I'm LV Live, big one for them boys. 108 to 85. Josh Hart spearheaded everything, 23 points, 13 rebounds for him. All right, so listen, I'll be back tomorrow to talk about the Washington Wizards game. So please come through and check it out. All right, I'm LV Live, and that's my show, and I'm out of here, people. Peace.